Hi, I'm Marinette Smith, and I'm a certified holistic.
Okay, looks like everything is started. We have the live stream going. Let me get the AI companion seems to be going, and the recording seems to be going. You'll have to excuse me. I'm new at all the tech stuff here. It's usually Zach that does that, but Zach is going to be a little bit late tonight. And I'd like to welcome a few of the new people here. We have Jimmy. Have you been here before? You have to unmute yourself, buddy.
No, I have not.
Oh, well, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. I cut you off. How did I what?
How did you find us?
I got a couple of emails.
Oh, good. You're on our list. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Great. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
We're waiting for a couple of coaches to come on so we can answer questions that come up. We got some of our old friends here. Carol, how about you? You brave enough to come off of mute and talk a little bit?
Hi, I found out about you from Kirsten Adams.
Oh, great. Excellent. Wonderful coach.
We were at a conference and sitting next to each other, and I'm going through the certification with
Oh,
a different group.
oh, a different group. Okay, okay. You're not going through the cancer coach certification and with us.
No, but my focus will be cancer patients and post-cancer thrivers.
Well, you're in the right community. You're right at home here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. Amy, are you on twice? I have you here. I have you here. Well, she's not in her screen. Hey, Amy. You're on mute, sweetheart. You're still on mute. There you go. You're getting there. See you reaching for it. We're all family here. Yeah, you're still on mute. You're it's I see mute on my side. You'll figure it out. Amy, are you on in two locations? Because I have two Amy's here.
Here I am.
There we go.
Get rid of the other one. I can't get it to unmute.
Okay. So you're talking through one and on video on the other.
That is so how weird. Yeah, hi.
Well, glad.
Yeah, I love. I I'm getting two voices. Anyhow, let me turn this.
Amy, you're a coach. No, you're a holistic cancer coach with us?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Okay.
I'm going through a situation, and it's so bizarre. I have to wait till I hear more about it. So that's why I'm putting it off.
Not a problem. Everybody's got life going on.
I would do anything if someone could figure this one out. Unexpected.
I'd just make a suggestion if I could.
Sure, sure.
If you've got it open unintentionally in a browser window and in the Zoom application, those devices can be logged into the same account and kind of competing with each other for resources. So is there a chance that you have Zoom open in a way that you can't see it?
You like if your browser window is all the way open, you can just minimize it, and you'll be able to see if you have more than one window open.
Something happened good. Something happened good right there.
Yeah, there we go. We're almost there. Now try unmuting, Aim.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah,
Harmony,
sorry
thank you
about
very
all
much.
that. But yeah, you guys, I love the group. I
Awesome.
just have to get this situation figured out. And it's, I hope it works out. That's what's making me wait. So thank you. Good to see everybody.
Yeah, good to see you too. And I'll put in the chat here. Everybody's doing it, but we want to keep our mics on mute while we're not talking. If we can, yeah, Jimmy, you can, yeah, okay.
Is this group for people that want to be coaches?
No, but if
Okay.
you want to be a
Okay.
coach, that's great. But
No, I'm not
no, this is
interested
open.
in being a coach. I heard you guys talking about coaching. I said, okay, well, maybe I got the wrong group. So I just
No,
wanted to.
no, no, no. I wanted to know who I have on that is a coach currently.
Okay.
Go ahead and open up some questions. I was just waiting on some coaches, and if you want, Jimmy, you could start if you have a question or a topic that you'd like to talk about. We have some great resources here.
Okay. The reason why I'm here is because I understood that this is for holistic uh, training or whatever. I am a person who found out that I have prostate cancer,
Okay.
and I've had it for 2 years now, and I've been going the
Get done earlier.
Okay.
hello.
Don't worry about
Okay.
that. I'll
Uh,
Done
I've
earlier.
been I've been going the nutrition route from stuff that
Great.
I have heard specifically.
See my
My in-laws were Seven-Day Adventists, and I've been reading Chris Beat Cancer for years, not because I had cancer, but because I knew people that had cancer. And I'm sort of alone in this whole thing as far as trying to do it by nutrition. And the doctors, of course, are dividing it between um, radiation and surgery. And we had active surveillance. And then I had something occurred where my dad came to live with me. He's 105 years old. And
Wow.
for 4 months, I went completely off uh, my diet and everything that I was doing. And of course, my score, went back up. So I'm trying to find something that somebody can tell me more about holistic uh, methods and somebody that I can agree with, somebody that can get behind me and somewhere that I can get information because right now I'm still basically just me and Chris Beat Cancer. So that's what I'm doing. So I don't know if this is the right place to come or I need to be someplace else.
You are definitely in the right place. We have a lot of resources for you, and you can absolutely contact us at the center. If you're in a position to write it down, you can write down.
Hold on.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Support at, like the at sign. This is an email address. Support at BeatCancer.org.
Or give me that again.
Support
Got it.
at Beat Cancer, BEAT cancer.org. That's .org because we are a nonprofit. We've been a nonprofit for almost 50 years now.
Okay.
And this is all we do is support cancer patients and their caregivers with holistic advice.
Okay. support.
All research based, and also to write me in that support email, and I'll send you for free one of our DVD or CD downloads. It'll download right to your phone or your computer, and
Okay.
you play that, and it'll be on prostate cancer. And also, too, I'll get you some resources so you can talk to our counselor, and that's absolutely at no cost to you.
Okay, I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm alone at this,
Yeah, you're
right now
not
because
anymore. Not anymore.
everybody is trying to say you need to do something and you need to either have surgery or the radiologist is saying there's no research that says that the diet, and I didn't want to call him a lie, so I just listened to it. And
There is research, but
yes,
it
yes,
doesn't.
I know there is.
Yeah. We that's everything we do is research based here at the center. And also too, Harmony has a great Reddit community. So you have a community here and you have a community with Harmony, and maybe he can chime in and let you know how to find that resource. And Harmony, maybe you can put that into the chat as well, so that Jimmy can see that.
Yeah, Carl, I certainly will. It's Harmon, just so you know, it's Harmon it's Harmon is short for Harmonious Monday, but
Harmony.
that's fine. It's no big deal.
Sorry, I see
No,
Harmony.
that's cool. And I just want you to know that I'm so happy, so happy to do that. It's just that, being new to your group, I'm always in a very respectful mode. There's a lot that I can say about a lot of things, but um so thank you for suggesting that, because I'm holding back generally out of respect for the coaches, and this is not my forum, and I'm kind of a voyeur. I'm learning from you guys, but I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to send you a link that'll give you almost an overwhelming amount of proof that you can have an effect against cancer in general and prostate cancer. I can send you specific link that'll keep you busy in a good way, reading for quite a while. And just another one to confirm too, that the reason I'm here is because of the integrity of BeatCancer.org. I've been aware of you guys for 13 years, and I've been recommending you for 11 years. And Chris Beat Cancer, also excellent source of information. So with that long-winded answer, just look to the comments. I think Jimmy is your name, right?
Yes.
Jimmy, in a few minutes, I'll post a link that'll send you to a place where I keep my prostate cancer information. Okay.
Okay. And I am on my phone, so my chat is small. I have to go back and forth. I didn't know if I could do it on the iPad. And I want you to know, all you guys to know, you don't have to convince me.
Yeah, it's
I, I know, and I have been reading for years. And when my best, very, very, very best friend died of prostate cancer in 2001, and my second best friend died in 2018. So I have been reading up on breast cancer. Like I said, my in-laws, ex-in-laws, were 7-day Adventists back in the 90s, and they were talking about diet then.
yep.
And I just have not been. I guess the word is devout on my diet, which I have gotten very, very close to being uh, devout now. But like I said, as it stands, I stand alone. Everybody who is telling me I need to do something, I
The
try to
the
explain to them the reason why you're saying that, because you know nothing about what I'm
what
trying to do.
one of the hardest things you will deal with, and you're saying it directly, and I'll tell you again, lots of research on this and from my own observation, half the battle, even if you have a good, like you sound like you're already kind of primed. You've read the material, you've got a few years, you're kind of primed. However, the pressure for you to take action in a conventional way will be almost overwhelming. So I can sympathize and understand that. But like Carl said, you are now about to surround yourself with some support. Um, so, you know, be happy to be as close as you are, and you're about to get even more support right now. So,
Thank you.
mhm.
Yes, I was curious who here is a coach? Is Evelyn a coach or Martha? Are you coaches? I can't remember.
Um, this is Martha.
Yes, hi Martha.
And hi, I just signed up for the program and just started. I'm just in the first uh, program.
Okay.
I know there's three for education. I'm just starting in and I got slapped with my fourth recurrence. So that's where my focus has been now. So I've kind of taken a break from doing all the studying and updating, but I'll get there.
Yeah. I would highly suggest that if you can and you have time to just go ahead and go through the materials because that can also help you with your battle.
Right. And I'm also working with Dr. Shane,
Oh,
Randy
good, good.
Shane. So
Yep.
she's been very helpful to me also. So I appreciate your having her on board.
Excellent. Thank you. And Dr. Randy Shane, who Martha is talking to, is our in-house counselor. She's been counseling people for us for the last 30 years. She's a wealth of knowledge and she's a straight shooter. If you like straight shooters, she's your girl because she'll tell it to you straight and um, in a kind way, but she won't let you get away with any monkey business. You know what I mean? You're on, yeah.
That's what I need. That's what I need. That's what I need. That's Dr. Marcia Shane.
It's Randy, Randi, Randy Shane, Shayne, and she will keep you on the straight and narrow for sure.
That's what I need.
Yeah. So first thing that happens when you talk to any of our coaches or our in-house counselor is you will get an assessment. And with her, it's not a form, it's more like a conversation. And that's what the first session will be. It'll be probably about 45 minutes because typically she finds that um, cancer patients have a hard time going longer than that, just energy wise. But also too, she's got to get through the last minute questions you might have and give herself a chance to get a drink of water and go to the bathroom before her next call. She
Thank
usually
you.
blocks off an hour.
Mhm.
But expect at least 45 minutes in closing statements.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So Evelyn, are you a coach? You're on mute.
No, I'm not.
Okay. I see you come to the calls quite often. So I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you. I just happen to hop on as much as I can.
Yes, and you're do you have a cancer diagnosis at this time?
Yes, I started out with colon cancer stage 4. 2 years later, it metastasized to my lung.
Mm,
And so
okay.
I've been dealing with the lung cancer right now.
Have you called the center to see to talk to Dr. Randy?
No, I have not. I've
That-
pretty much been doing, listening to you all and doing research. But now that you mention her, I will do that.
yeah, it's very easy. You can find her information on BeatCancer.org, but what I'll do is for everybody, I will say her number. This is her direct office line. And also, too, I'll put it into the chat. So her direct office line is 610 234 0671. And I will put that into the chat for everybody right now.
Thank you, Carl.
Yes, yes. Glad to help. That's what we're here for. And I'm putting it in right now, so pardon me while I type. I can only do one thing at a time. I'm a boomer. But I'm doing the best I can with the tech. Amy, you got a question? And Dave, I saw your question in the chat. I'll get back to you in a second.
Okay.
I no longer laugh at boomer jokes, just so you know.
Yes, Amy, you're off mute now.
Great. I have a question. I had a concern that I had colon cancer last year. Fortunately, I got cleared of not having it. Actually, my colon's in good condition. Like, I have a low risk of getting it. I don't know if it's all the protocols I did last year and the prayers. I mean, I really took good care of myself and learned a lot about cancer. There's so much to learn. But in my gastro wants me to have an endoscopy that I have scheduled for next week. And I'm just wondering, he wants to go into my stomach and see if I have some type of infection in there, because I look anorexic and I look like I'm pregnant. It's silly, and I eat really well. I don't abuse my body in any way. Do you have any information about endoscopies or gut issues?
The endoscopy is going down the front end, right? So
Right.
yeah. I don't. I know that when they're coming in from the back end, I know that you should be very cautious of that because perforation can happen, and then all kinds of things can happen, like autotoxicity, because once you have tears and perforation in your colon, it's not good. But yeah.
I
As
have a collapse.
as far as I know, the front end is relatively safe. Um, but I don't have any reviews myself personally. Unfortunately, we don't have any coaches on tonight. I don't know where they all are. We usually have 2, 3, 4 coaches on. They must not have gotten the message.
It's Memorial Day weekend. I have a collapsed colon. The last third of my colon is collapsed, which is bizarre. And they couldn't even finish the colonoscopy, but for some reason, everything came out fine for all the tests they ran. But I have such a bizarre body. I'm ready to trade it in. I surrender. Anyhow, thank you. I just wanted to ask if you had any insight. It's always good to get it. And yeah, everybody, just know that there's solutions to everything. Just be unstoppable and keep asking questions, learn, grow, and it all works out.
All I can say is that the Lord is with you, and everything's gonna turn out the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Well, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Amy. Dave, you can ask your question if you like, but there's no coaches on. It's just me. I'm this. Let me just introduce myself. If for people that don't know, I'm the CEO of BeatCancer.Org. We're a 48-year-old nonprofit who our mission is to provide research-based information on how to cope with and even beat cancer and prevent cancer recurrence through non-toxic and immune boosting approaches, including lifestyle and diet. We include that because it's not just your diet, it is also your lifestyle. So for all of you that don't know, just even a healthy body weight is a huge factor in the cancer world. There's at least 32 different cancers that come from not having an ideal body weight. So it's good to do that and stay fit for a whole host of reasons. And also mental and spiritual balance, right? We want to keep our minds in check. We don't want to get into the worry mode, right? We want to know that we're doing everything in our power to help our bodies get into an optimal state for healing. And that's what we're all about. And we've seen people come back from stage 4. We can't say that we cured them. Of course, they would attribute that to us, but we didn't do anything. All we did was help them get their bodies and their minds and their spirit in the right place for their bodies to heal themselves, and that the body does its own thing. So go ahead, Dave.
Okay, thank you so much. First of all, I'd like to thank, I don't know who it was, I got on a little late here. I was just going to go for a walk. All of a sudden, my alarm went off and started telling me that beat.org is on, BeatCancer.org is on 6:05. I ran home and got on quick. I got on about 6:15 and I couldn't find you on my email. Oh my gosh, how do I get on? But I figured it out. Anyway, and just an aside real quick, for people that might have a hard time with hope, I'm probably in the worst shape of my life. I did a couple experiments, and I got cancer when I was in the best shape of my life, and it went away when I was in the worst shape of my life. So for those people that think they got to be exercising every day, maybe that was just me, but don't think you have to be in the gym every day. I think if you're just eating well and being healthy, that's probably the biggest part of the battle. And I just got back from the Barney Waters 2 days ago. I didn't think I'd ever be able to go there again. And we played it smart. We got towed halfway. But I did a lot of rowing, and my balance was terrible at first, and my strength is weak. But guess what? In 5 days, it was amazing. Even my brother noticed how much better my balance got, and how much stronger I got. He noticed that in just 5 days of canoeing and walking up hills. And every step you take up in the Barney Waters, it's like you got to be a goat. You have to be a mountain goat. Every single step has to be calculated. And if you make one wrong move, you'll break an ankle or sprain an ankle or a bone or whatever so fast it's not even funny. And it's funny how pristine everybody wants it up there. They want it so pristine. Sometimes they won't even move rocks and sticks that are in the way of the portages. I think that's going a little bit too far, folks. So I'm always trying to clean up that stuff so people don't, hurt themselves unnecessarily. But this is a doozy, and I just love your term, Carl, about going down rabbit holes. I've got about 30 topics I want to talk about on any given day, and every one of them could turn into a rabbit hole. And we could go on forever about this, and the pressure's on you being alone. But I get your take. That's enough for me. I'm guessing, I've done a lot of research on the metabolic approach.
Yes.
And to be honest, from all I've read and everything I've done, and everything I've seen from the inside out now, from the traditional, and I've done it all, I've done it all. Shots in the butt, shots in the stomach, Frankenstein injecting radium into my bloodstream, checking my body for radiation with a Geiger counter, chemotherapy, hormone therapy. That's a fancy word for taking pills, right? To keep your testosterone or estrogen down. Okay, so I'm pretty well convinced, just from everything I'm seeing and reading, that I'm guessing most of you guys is holistic and allopathic, naturopathic coaches and doctors, etc., and practitioners pretty much are advocating for the metabolic approach. And I'm kind of convinced that is the answer. I could have gotten an argument with my cousin a couple of weeks back when they said everybody in their family's got cancer, so it's got to be genetic. I say, well, I know by our side, I've been tested 4 times, deeper every time. I've got four between me and 3 brothers. We all have cancer, and we were in good shape. We always thought our genes were good. And now I'm finding out that they have not found any gene. They have found no cancer gene in us at all. So yeah, there's something in the water. We know something we're all doing. We know we're doing something wrong. What it is, I'm trying to just stay away from doing what everybody else does. Because if we're all getting cancer and we're all doing it, I don't care if they think I'm weird. I just try to stay away from doing what everybody else does. But what's your take on the metabolic approach versus this genetic thing? And I'll finish with this. My take on it is that our behavior and what we're eating and what we're exposed to is actually causing our genes to mutate. It's not that our genes are bad in causing cancer. I don't think there's a cancer gene. I don't think God made one. He didn't make genes to give us cancer. I'm pretty well convinced, especially with all my experience. I've been experimenting for 3 years now, and that's my take on it. Is that the metabolic approach, if these people even know what that is the answer. I think that's the key.
I can speak to that a little bit.
Mhm.
So the metabolic approach oh, good. We got a coach coming in, and Maya's awesome. The, metabolics does have something to do with it, but it's not everything.
Okay.
And number two is your genes. The whole thing about genes is the conversation of epigenetics. So even if you do have a gene that could potentially cause cancer, it does not mean that you'll get cancer. So and the way they figured this out, and I've said this before, is that they figured out when they followed twins that were separated at birth through adoption. One twin went to one family, the other twin went to another family.
Mhm.
One had great health outcomes, the other one had poor health outcomes. Why? When they have exactly a carbon copy of the genes. So as they started to study this, they found out it was lifestyle. So your genes, so the way that Susan puts it is your genes might have loaded the gun, but it's your lifestyle that pulls the trigger. So absolutely there's triggers in your lifestyle, including diet, that will cause a gene to express in a negative way or a benign way. A benign would be positive, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so and this is definitely what they found. So the whole gene argument kind of gets thrown out the window with that. But I think that Harmony would like to comment, and then Maya, just so you know what Dave's topic was, is he believes that the metabolic approach is the silver bullet. So we'll take on Harmony, and then we'll go to Maya.
You said everything almost exactly as I was thinking it when it comes to epigenetics, so we can skip that right away. Amazing. I mean, seriously, almost word for word, it was exactly how I would explain, having a gene versus is it enabled? Has it been switched on? Two different things. So epigenetics means above genetics, the ability to find out if that gene is going to be activated or not. So excellent explanation. Carl, thanks for thanks for getting it perfect, man. So I don't have to. But the other thing I wanted to say too is that people don't realize that the common thing, Dave, what you said, I think Dave, you said this, while everyone in my family has cancer, therefore it's genetic. Okay, sounds reasonable, right? However, what's much more likely is that everyone in the family tends to get cancer because they all grew up together and learned the same lifestyle habits and therefore lived their lives in the same way, which was a cancer promoting way. And
Yep.
yes, you could call it genetic, or you could say the behavior was copied identically, therefore the results were experienced identically. So I want Maya to get in, so I don't want to go too longer. I'm glad she's here.
Hi everyone. I joined late. Could you just fill me in very quickly? What are we talking about?
Uh, Dave was saying that he felt that the metabolic uh, route was the 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 silver bullet.
Yeah, there you go. That's good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I
Like
totally,
summarized a lot.
yeah, I totally agree. Just because we have some genetic mutation, that doesn't mean that people at some point of their life would develop a certain condition that would, or cancer, because our lifestyle would activate that gene mutation or would keep it dormant. It all depends on our lifestyle, what we've been exposed to, and what do we put in our body, in our system. We can have a genetic mutation, and we do have them. We have 1,000 gene mutations, but we're not getting 1,000 diseases because we're not activating those genes due to our lifestyle, epigenetics, and other factors in our lives. So, and it's been actually proven by the science that you can manipulate your genes by changing your lifestyle and changing your diet and everything else.
Yeah, and I'd like to add to that, and then we'll get to Carol real quick. Uh, uh, so our goal here is when we get a patient and we work with them and they find success, uh, we're happy. Yeah, but that's not the whole goal. The whole goal is that we cause them to be an example in their family and their friend group, because their family and friends see this and they're just astounded that, oh, you didn't go completely the conventional route, or you went completely off the conventional route and you had success. So the idea is that we cause generational change so that people will no longer say, well, my sister got it, my aunties all got it, my mom got it, my grandma got it, so it just runs in my family. uh, you can break that chain forever in that family lineage. So you could be the catalyst to not have that family from that point on
I
say it in the family.
I actually, yeah, I want to add something to that. It's not what I believe is not what it's running. It runs in the family. The gene mutation runs in the family. But
Right.
what I believe is it's a habits runs in
Exactly.
the family,
Exactly right.
right?
So
Yeah.
they get to be
Habits
an
that
example.
people pick up, like, yeah. So if it runs like through, I mean, my client would say, my mom had it, my sister, my everyone. So because that's a lifestyle you used to, you grew up with that lifestyle. That's what everyone has been exposed to, the same thing what you've been exposed.
Exactly.
You can break that down. Like you said, you can break it down. That doesn't mean it's genetically, you have this gene mutation and everyone exposed to that, and that's why you've been getting like cancer or any other health conditions. It's just a habit, because we growing up, we don't know any other way of living our lifestyle as our mom does, as our parents does, grandparents does. We're just keep repeating what we're seeing it and how we grow up. But if we break that pattern, we can break that.
And it's not only diet, it's also, how do you handle anger? How do you
Yeah, everything. Yeah,
everything?
everything. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
there's a
totally.
lot that goes into it. So Carol, please chime in.
Okay, I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer in early 2007. I have no breast cancer on history on either side of my family. I was exercising, meditating, doing yoga, eating healthy, and I was diagnosed. And one of my friends said she just gave up. If I was doing all of that and I still got diagnosed. But I have a holistic medical doctor. She's the first person I spoke to, and I will never forget her words. She said, "Once you learn to manage your stress, you will heal." So I didn't feel I was stressed. Later, yeah, and none of the doctors, I knew what the cancer cells were. I did not want to do chemo. I wanted to heal with medication. And none of I went to 5 doctors, none of them would even consider it. They said I had to do chemo, which I found out later was not true. But it did spread, into depression. So the cancer spread in my lungs, my liver, my bones, and my spleen. And when I went to the hospital. That's when I did chemo to stop the spread. The oncologist on my team put me on disability. And after I freaked out, like, oh, I'm a single mom, I can't work, what's going to happen? It all worked out. And I really didn't do anything to actively reduce stress. But yet, a year later, even though my prognosis was 6 weeks at that point, a year later, I was cancer free, and I've been cancer free since. The key was she put me on disability. I did not have to go back to corporate America. That's what was toxic to me.
Yeah, and we see that. We've seen that time and again. So it's sometimes it's a toxic relationship that you're close to, and some people it's work, and
Hmm.
sometimes it's even the work environment. But for you, it
Yes.
was the stress of work. But
Well,
certainly people work in toxic environments. Like anybody that works on a golf course is just basically working on a toxic landfill.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't think of that.
One of
Never
the
thought of
last
that.
companies I worked for, I figured out was the most toxic company. So many people were drinking themselves to sleep at night.
Mm,
It was that. I think a lot of it happened around, my tenure with that company.
yeah, excellent,
So,
excellent, excellent point.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
just wanted to mention
Yeah,
stress is
no,
a
no,
big
that's
part of
that's that's perfect. That's exactly what we mean by lifestyle. You had to radically change your lifestyle. Leaving your occupation is a huge, huge change. And Maya looks like she's on off mute now.
I just want to say, when I say like you have to address everything, that's what I mean. You have to address literally everything. When it comes to cancer, environment you're in, where you're going, does it make you happy? People you speak to. I mean, you have to address every single aspect, because stress doesn't mean like what goes through your brain, how stressed you are by your negative thoughts or positive thoughts. There's so many different forms of stress.
Mhm.
That's what we have to. I mean, like when it comes to, you have to pay attention to every little thing. So, and in your case, like you said, like your environment was toxic to you,
And I didn't realize it.
and
Yeah.
no one would mention that. No one,
Right.
no
And
doctor would ever mention it. Yeah,
it was 2 years after I was cancer free, and I said, but I haven't actually done anything to reduce stress. And then it hit me. As
yeah,
soon as she took me off, put me on disability, I could feel my body healing.
yeah, yeah, because you stop stressing out. Yeah,
And I did not realize that it was work. It was
yeah,
more recent employment, not early, like after 30, 35 years, but it still took me 2 years after I was, completely without any disease to figure out. It had to be that I was put on disability.
right. But largest stress in people with cancer is financial stress.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's a huge financial stress because
Yep.
people need to pay for so many different things and they don't have enough money
Right.
and they're running out of money, and that's puts a lot of stress on people.
Yeah.
Again, I want to say like people have to take it at the level of their comfort, because you can still do a lot if you cannot afford certain treatments. That doesn't mean you have to have them. It's been presented to you that you can get better with it, but that doesn't mean you have to have it.
Hmm.
You can do so many things on your own without spending a dime on the things what you've been offered to. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's not only work. I mean, I stopped working in the corporate setting somewhere in my mid 20s. But still to this day, when I feel a little bit of stress, I'll have these stress dreams about being late for work and stuck in traffic on the way to work, and I'm already late, and then getting a flat tire and not and in those days there was no cell phones, so you couldn't even call in to say, hey, I'm going to be late, I got a flat tire and I'm stuck in traffic. And I still have these dreams like every once in a while. And then
Yep.
remember
Yep.
one day specifically, I had this dream. I woke up, I felt like still tense from the dream, and I turned on the TV, and the news was on, and there's this big traffic jam, and I was like, wow, all these people are like living my nightmare every single day.
Mm.
I'm just so glad that I'm out of that environment and now I'm doing something that gives me life by helping others. And I'm so happy that we can have this forum and talk about these things. And thank you so much, Carol, for that, because that really that set me in a mental spot to know that, hey, if I have that dream, I know there's something stressing me out in my life and I better fix it. So, Amy, you got your hand up. Excuse me.
Yeah, I just want to make a few comments. I'm a massage therapist and I also am a certified health coach, but I'm not in the cancer part yet. But along with what I'm unraveling the mystery of my body, and I want to encourage a strategy plan, not getting overwhelmed, and just doing, figuring out what you need to do. And in the last few weeks, I had cellulitis on my leg. I had a leg vacuum and I had a skin graft done from somebody hit me on my bike. And all of a sudden, I get this horrible infection. And they gave me more antibiotics. I thought that's just what my gut needs, right? More antibiotics. I've just been in the hospital in December and May last year, and it's just a bunch of antibiotics and my gut's in the gutter. So I looked at those pills and I said, I'm not going to take them. And I really thought about it. And I opened up my other drawer and I found my probiotics. And I pounded those. And I swear I was in horrible pain. My foot swelled. I couldn't even put my shoes on and I was limping around. I thought I broke my foot. I went to have it x-rayed, not a broken foot, but it was really bad. And I put mustard pack on it and then I wrapped it and I did a bunch of probiotics, a certain brand I really love. And by day 3, it was all gone. The swelling was gone. My foot went back down to normal. And I thought, antibiotics have their place when you need them, but we have way overdone it. And I really hesitate to take them unless it's a world crisis. I just wanted to say that because our immune system is so important for cancer or any disease. And I was under a lot of antibiotics in my life that saved my life. I've had some serious things happen, but my gut's in the gutter. My body looks anorexic, pregnant.
Yeah.
So I'm surrendering. But I just wanted to share that with people really think out a strategy plan. Find people who can give you a strategy plan before you jump into something, unless you really have to. I mean, if you got to get to the emergency room, by golly, go. If you need that antibiotic and it's going to save your life right now, take it. I'm not going to downsize that, but take a deep breath and really look at the situation and look at all the factors involved. Be a detective. So I don't know if that helps anybody.
Yep, I'm sure it does. It's good advice. And I'm fearful of antibiotics in general. So I try to stay away from them if at all possible. And I don't know when's the last time I took an antibiotic, but yeah, even when they're prescribed to me, I'm like, nope, not doing it. But I'd like to, yeah, go ahead. And then
I was going to say, if I didn't have to have those surgeries being in the hospital, I mean, I didn't have a choice,
Right.
But yeah, I agree. Stay away from antibiotics, but boy, pound those probiotics. Good luck with them. Anyhow, I don't want to hold up the show. Thank you.
No, we just got a question that came in on one of our live stream chats. I believe this is from Facebook. I'm not monitoring them, but I just got this sent to me by Zach, who couldn't come tonight. It says, where to start if you suspect prostate cancer based on elevated PSA. So we'll give this to Maya. The question is, where to start if you suspect prostate cancer based on elevated PSA. And that was from Heather on Facebook.
Elevated PSA doesn't mean it's cancer. That's one of the things I would say. There's a lot of the 50% of the elevated PSA could be false results to cancer. That's, I would say, to do more in-depth testing to actually rule out that it's cancer. That's number one. Like elevated PSA is similar to like doing a mammogram and finding a lump that is not related to a cancer. Like about 50% are false positive. So so anyhow, elevated PSA is a reflection of abnormal hormones. Okay, so you have to do everything to balance your hormones, whether it's for females or males. How to start? Like I want to simplify my answer, but so paying attention to your hormones, that would be the one of the things I would say, particularly when it comes to testosterone, male testosterone, it has to be at the level to balance. Then paying attention to your parathyroid hormones that also kind of synthesize the calcium, because in some people, elevated PSA might be calcium buildup in the prostate glands. So that's another thing to pay attention. I think you have to go to the doctor and ask to do more in-depth testing until you get a correct diagnosis, because elevated PSA doesn't mean it's cancer. That's one thing I could tell for sure. So but again, clearing up, it's similar to a female breast cancer, clearing up everything that is endocrine disruptors. What are you putting on your body? What are you putting in your body? What are you surrounding yourself with? Cleaning up everything around you that interfere with the hormone production. So how does your body makes hormones? What exactly your body needs to make a proper hormone? So your sleep plays a big role, a special time you go to sleep, because there's a certain time at night when our body balances the hormones. And if we don't sleep between 10 and 1 in the morning, then we don't allow our body to balance the hormones. So insulin is another thing. Insulin affects of the increased PSA. So controlling your blood glucose levels, that would be my, my recommendations, unless I know a little bit more,
Yeah. We can't give specific advice, but
Right.
some general things to stay away from would be plastic bottles, like
Plastic bottles,
water,
anything that causes hormonal disruption. Yeah.
And I think for men too, what do you think of soy products? I mean, soy in general is heavily laden with glyphosate and
Yeah.
general.
Well, soy is cultivated product, I would say. It's exogenous. You have to understand, even though they say that it has a xenoestrogen, it mimics a human estrogen, it mimics human estrogens, but it's not human estrogen or human hormone. This is a thing that we have to understand. We don't need anything that mimics our hormones. We need what makes our hormones.
Right.
Mimicking is mean like you're not letting your body. So putting something in your body that mimics your hormone, that means you are not letting your body to do its own job.
Right. Do you think that's not good for men though?
Right. I would say no, because soy is like what increases the estrogen, and at some point it's going to affect the body's hormones,
It's
male hormones. Yeah.
Promoted as like the healthy
Right.
alternative to say milk and other things like that. And
Right.
I think Susan said that fermented soy probably would be the only thing that she would suggest, but you have to find
Right.
sources.
Right, because fermented soy does not have that xenoestrogens. It does have some stuff like K2, where it's high in K2 natto. But I personally stay away from stuff like that, because I still think it's interfere with our own body's hormonal production. So I personally stay away from those things. I would rather put something in my body that my body would make its own hormones, instead of introducing something that it's exogenously help your body making something, because that's not natural anymore.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Just a general statement. There is a study called the China study. It's a book. Now I can't remember the doctor's name, but
Dr. Lee, I think Lee, yeah, his last
yeah,
name
no,
is
it wasn't Dr. Lee, but Dr. Lee is great. He definitely talks about
Ollie Campbell.
yeah, T. Colin Campbell. That's it. Right.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and what they did with the China study was they followed Chinese people in remote areas of China that have diets that are local to their area and um, not devoid of meat, but low in meat. That wasn't like the major thing in the diet, but in general, they found that was the processed foods were what was really absent from the diet. And then the very first generations of people that came from those areas and went to Western countries and started adopting the Western McDonald's diet all got cancers that they didn't have cancer in their family at all got cancers at the same rates and the same types as people in the West.
Yeah.
So that was a big insight into how diet plays a role in cancer.
Yeah. Oh, our ancestors, whether it's Asia from Asia or other countries, like I did not grow up using soy at all. Like, for example, our culture did not know what soy is. So my DNA, for example, is not prone of using soy. So if I came to the country and I start using soy, this is something new to my body. My body has to learn how to deal with it. So for me, I would say no, but for people who grew up, maybe they have a predisposition of using that soy and utilizing that soy in their body. Of
Right.
course, our ancestors knew more because they would ferment the product, because when you ferment the product, you change their enzymes. So when you change that enzymes, it's easier for body to digest. Body doesn't work hard to break it down and trying to do, to create enzymes that would break it down.
Right.
So maybe for those people are okay. But just because it's trend, that doesn't mean like entire world has to use it. That's what my point is. Like for us, like I didn't even know what soy is in my life. So me introducing soy, that's something new to my body. So I have to, like, I personally stay away from it. But for people who've been using for rest all their life, maybe it would benefit them. I don't know. We don't know. No one knows that. There's no science behind it. No one knows it.
There's a little bit of science now coming from the Gonzalez Institute finding that your ancestry has a lot to do with what you can tolerate diet-wise or not.
Yes. Because that's how our genes built. And it's been isotopic like science, epidemiological science has been like showing that when they check our ancestral, like very ancestral, like bones that they found a protein from animals, and they could exactly show what kind of animals our ancestors used to eat. And collagen, based on the collagen in the bones, it does show what our ancestors used. They mostly use animal products in opposed to a plant diet. So we have to understand like our our body, if we have like 60% water, 20% muscles, and like 9% fat on average. So the same thing that if you break down animal body, it's the same thing, similar to that. So what exactly do we need to consume to replace what we're losing? You're gonna consume similar what you're losing coming from the food that your body can break it down easy, your body can we're as a humans, we're the most lost and like don't know what kind of diet we have to consume. We're the only species in this world that confused and don't know what we have to eat because of all this exposure that we have. One says this is good for you, the other said this is good for you. But think logically all the time. What breaks down in your body easier than anything else? Your body knows how to produce an enzyme to breaks down the protein, the animal protein. It has a hard time, it doesn't have enzymes, and it never can produce enzyme that breaks down the cellulose. That means we're not used to that cellulose. And where the cellulose coming from? It's coming from a lot of fiber. So we're not used to that. We cannot do that. We cannot break it down, you know, and we're getting the problems and start thinking about it. There's digestive problems, and a lot of problems start when we have a digestive issues, because digestive is a door to so many organs. It delivers the nutrients to every part of your body, and when the digestive doesn't work, that's where the problems start. Yeah, when I work with my clients, I never focus on cancer ever. I always focus on digestive system. You know, I have to make sure my clients, whatever they're eating, they're absorbing possibly at 100%. That's the only way you can get the nutrients in your body.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. And as Amy was saying in the chat, you know, we should try to get as organic as possible, and you know, if we can, grow it ourselves. You know, that's it. Like I have the chickens, you know. So yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. We're at the top of the hour. We're a little bit past. And I'm so sorry for the people that were online on our live streams. We didn't have anybody monitoring the chats, so we couldn't address the questions. And we had a lot of questions in this chat about ivermectin and febendazole and things like that, but that was just a big can of worms, so we were busy with other topics. But if you want to learn more, absolutely go to BeatCancer.org. Maya is one of our highest regarded coaches. So if you want to contact Maya, you can find her and find a coach area under Maya. She's the only one. It's really easy to spell, Maya, and you'll find her. And we also have Dr. Randy Shane to talk to. So please, please, please don't feel alone in your journey here. We're here for you, and thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, Maya.
Thanks, Carol.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
All right,
everyone.
take it easy.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.